Shalom. I would like to talk a little bit more about the two wisdom. We talked a while ago. We said that all creation have to do with two wisdom. The God creates the world with two wisdom. The verse is Beyudke Havaya Tzur Olamim. In the name Yudke of Yudke Vavke, God created the form of the world. Yudke is the name of God, the two first letters of the name of God that correspond to the Sphira of Chokhmah, of wisdom. Alright? So, one of the exercises we did, we took the word Bereshit, what is two beginning, two wisdom, like we explained, and we split it to Chen, because Chen it's like a basic, important concept that has to do with all creation. It's a parasha that came after Bereshit, Noach, which is the same letter of Chen. Alright, so when we split 913 that equal Bereshit to Chen to 58, what we received was 50 times Chen plus 43. So here we have 15, what is the name Yudke, the name of wisdom. Yud equal 10, Hey equal 5, so the name Yud Hey is 15, the name of wisdom. And here we have, besides this, something left. It's like a sheri, the same letter of Reshit, what means wisdom.
Leftover.
Something left over, that is 43, what is a prime number 15. You know, it's the line in the series of prime number from 1, the 15 prime number is 43. So here we have another wisdom, here we have a wisdom that has to do with Chen. Here we have a wisdom that has to do with Esav. Why Esav? Esav in order number equal 43, Cain, Nachash, snake, Esav, and equals the word in order number equal Esav, this number. Besides this, the most important word that equal 43 is Gam. 2, me too. Alright? So we can say that in the creation of the world there are two kinds of wisdom. One of them has to do with Chen. It's meant with the concept of 2. The concept of Yitzchak that have to do with the concept of zero, like we explained. Another wisdom, it's more something individual, something left. Alright? If we talk about the tzimtzum, the constriction of the creation, before the creation, that God takes all his light, make all his light, infinite light, disappear.
Not all of it, just a piece of
space. In this space, he make a space that in this space all the light disappear, and how this space is like a matter instead of zero, and in this place of emptiness he creates the world. So the concept of Chen has to do with the zero, with the concept of 2, what is a cycle, and it is another wisdom that appear here in this constriction that has to do more with something that was before the construction that appear in this world through the middle point of the cycle. Right? It's like the curve. Like we say in the
Like the
creation of the world,
Like what?
the curve. Curve.
A curve, the line.
The line. We say that in the creation of the world we have three concepts. The square, it's like the light, that infinite light that appeared before the construction. Why this is a square? Because before the construction, it was like a plan, kind of plan in existence that don't exist. This is like the 22 letter square of the 22 letters. It means all the possibility of putting two letters together. So this called in Kabbalah the word of Malbush. Alright, it's kind of reality in infinite that appear all the possibility of existence that will be after creation. And all this possibility of existence, it's 22 square. Alright, each one of the letter with the other letter. So this form a square. So this concept has to do with a square. After it is a cycle.
Circle.
The circle that leaves light is no light there.
No light?
No light, not the infinite light. Is not light. All the light vanish, disappear, stay just a test of the light. You know, there are people that search for this zero. They want to get to this test of consciousness that called being nothing. What it is there. Even the smell of the infinite light is a very big light. All right, so it is just a reshimu, it's called in Kabbalah. It's like a mark of something that was before.
A memory.
A memory. And then came the curve.
The line.
The line. All right. So the line basically it's Esav and Yaakov. But the line came from something that was before. And what was before, this had to do with Avraham and Yitzchak. Let's say that the infinite light, the will to do good to create a world, to do good to the others, so it will be another, so I can make good to him. This infinite light has to do with Avraham. The power of the constriction of this light, this power of Yitzchak, of the Gvura, of the left. And this came from something that is more high of the light of Avraham, what is like the essence of God before the creation.
Essence.
It's like the light that's shining to himself before the light shining to somebody else. What is Avraham? It is the light that's shining to himself. It's like the
self-consciousness.
It's like, you know, if you have a lamp that it is light, before the light you have the lamp by himself. Alright, so this is the lamp by himself, like the sun by himself, that you cannot say that it is a light there, it's something above light. So this has to do with Yitzchak, etc. Alright, so before the creation of the world, you have like existence of these two forces of right and left. Now here appear in number 3, like we see, we have two times the number 3. In the series, you remember we talk about the series of numbers that have to do with Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. We say that Abraham is 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. We say that about Yitzchak, we have 0, minus 1, minus 2, 1, 2, 3, etc. 0 minus 1 equal minus 1. minus 1 minus 1 equal minus 2. Minus 2 minus 1 equal minus 3, etc. Here we have 3, 4, 6, 9, 13 to the both sides. This is Yaakov and Esav. Alright, one go to the right, one go to the left. Each one of them starts with himself. Alright, so this is a kav. The kav is like the letter Vav that contains two Vav. Alright? It's like the Torah. The kav, the line, represents the Torah. The Torah was given in the month of Sivan, of the Gemini. The Gemini is Yaakov and Esav. It means the Torah was giving for two kinds of interpretations that are Yaakov and Esav. And like we explained in different lessons, the correction of Esav is to be Avraham. This is a special connection to godliness. And the correction of Yaakov is to be Yitzchak. It means, again, we have two kinds of wisdom that have to do with Yaakov and Esav, or Avraham and Yitzchak. One has to do more with the zero, and one has to do more to the one. It means is the first one. Is somebody that is the first one, is original, and is somebody that is second one. His second one, it means in one sense it's like a zero, because it's not, nothing new happened here. Avraham Avinu already established Judaism, so he's the first one to reveal God, to start Am Yisrael. Now Yitzchak has to just to keep it, so he's female. In the parasha of the week, parasha of Toldot, it talk about Yitzchak digging be'erot, wells. All right, so Avraham did be'erot as well. Avraham did 3, Yitzchak did 4. All right, the be'erot of Avraham didn't last. The Plishtim came and covered them. So Yitzchak do it again. In the beginning, they fight about it. They don't let him. But finally, when he get to the well that called Rehovot, he success. Rehovot it's mean from large, from the word large. So you see, now God make for us everything large. Now we can spread out
He succeeded what?
To do the well. He
found water in that sense.
He found water, and Plishtim, they are not fighting anymore about this. He stay. Right? This equal in order number chen, by the way. Right? Okay, so we said that Yitzchak is not is the second. Like for example, Cain after Hevel after Cain. Cain did the sacrifice. The firstborn did the sacrifice. Then Hevel do a sacrifice too. All right. So Hevel, he did a bad sacrifice. All right. So that God didn't like it. So Hevel that came after, he can improve what Cain did. He can make it better, but he's a second. If you are second in many ways, it's really not something new. So in the creation of the world, you can say that there are something that has to do with wisdom that is connected to zero. It means two couple, like there are two in the Ark of Noah. In the moment you have plus and minus, so it becomes zero altogether. It means nothing really changed. So all the creation is like this, but in another way it's always something new that appears, even this thing new have a couple, but still this is something that is more new of the concept of the zero, and this is Avraham, right? Like we mentioned, the name Yud-K is mentioned in the 5 book of Torah only 2 times. So Be Yud-K, 2 Yud-K, the creation of the world, it's not only this verse that it is written that God created the world with 2 Yud-K Be, Yud-K Bet equal to. This name appears 2 times in the book, in the Torah, not in the Bible, in the Torah. One about related to Amalek, the fight against Amalek, and one in the song of the sea, the singing of after the pass through the sea, when they sing. It is written in Kabbalah that these two wisdom, these 2 Yud-K have to do with two possibilities they had to write the name Yud-K. You can say that Yud-K is the first 2 letters of the name of God, and you can say that Yud-K is the first letter and the 4 letters of the name of God, because the letter Hey appears 2 times.
The 3rd letter.
The 4 letter. It is Yud, K, Vav.
Okay, the 4th, right,
K.
right.
Yud, Hey, Vav, Hey. Alright, it is 4 letters. So this is the first 2 letters, is usually Yud-K as wisdom, the name of wisdom. But you can say that it is another wisdom that has to do with this connection. The second kind of wisdom, it will be more like what people think about wisdom, like the wisdom in creation, the wisdom that you find in everything in the creation. This kind of wisdom, it's like the wisdom that came from nothing. והחוכמה מאין תימצא. The wisdom came from nothing, from the ein, from the nothing. This kind of wisdom is what you call the wisdom of Shlomo. It's like the wisdom of knowing all the secret inside the nature, the language of the animal, how everything works, etc. This has to do with the second kind of wisdom. This kind of wisdom is related to Esav as well, like all science. This wisdom is related to Yaakov or David. You can call this wisdom the wisdom of David, and you can call this wisdom the wisdom of Shlomo.
Also Malchut.
Malchut. What is a Malchut? What is the kingdom of God? Is the speech of God. In the creation, He speaks. Now, when you speak, in the speech, the power to speak came from the wisdom. Alright? Because the power to bring all the time a new permutation of letter, change the order of the letter, etc., to play with the letter, it means every time I have to take the letter to the nothing and reveal them from new, like to do something new with the same letter. I have all the time the same 22 letters, but every time that I want to make a new combination, to change a combination of something, the power of changing combination of something, the power of do any change, it's always you have to bring it back to a state of nothing. Right? It's like to go to the mikveh, to go to the water, to become nothing, to reborn.
Why do you mean to go to nothing? I mean, you make a permutation and go to nothing?
To do a permutation, you have to bring back what you have to nothingness, and then to bring them back in a new order. Alright? Always. The power of speaking is the power that have to be...
Talking.
of talking, to talk we have to be all the time in connection to nothingness. You are not aware about everything you talk, how you say, you know. It's like something that happens automatically. Right? So it's a connection to the zero, to the nothing, that is what give us the possibility to go all the time with new idea, with new combination of letter, all right? But when we talk about the wisdom that are in the letter, that are in the combination of the letter, it's a wisdom that has to do with the kingdom. All right? Why you call this so and why you call this so? What a wisdom? What is the connection between this letter and this kind of wisdom, intelligence that are in this thing? This is this kind of wisdom. But the power of just speaking to get all the time new idea, this came from this wisdom. All right. So in the creation of the world, it's like there are two wisdom. The high one came from the wisdom that has to do with Chen, with nothing, with the zero, and the low wisdom, what has to do with to be what we call to be smart, to understand the intelligence of everything in this world. This has to do with this kind of wisdom. All right. So this was something general about these two wisdom. The most important verse that has to do with the word gam, two, it's what Esav say, Bacheni gam ani avi, bless me too, my father. Gam ani avi. It's like Esav will say in Hebrew, it's like Esav will say that me too, I am too my father. My father, basically in right order, is Avraham ben Yaakov, and in opposite order, not ben Yaakov, Avraham ben Yitzchak. Avraham ben Yitzchak. In opposite order is Yitzchak ben Avraham. Like we explained,
Reversed order.
in the parasha of Toldot, that you have, this is the son of Yitzchak, son of Avraham. Avraham that give birth to Yitzchak. It means Avraham that give birth to Yitzchak is the son of Yitzchak that is the son of Avraham. All right, this we talk about this verse that equal in order number Mashiach. We talk a lot about this when you talk about the Trinity. So this has the acronym of Avi, my father. Father is mean wisdom. I mean we're talking about two kinds of wisdom. One wisdom that is Avraham, have to do with the number one, and another wisdom that has to do with Yitzchak. That is what is a zero, what is a chen, what is a two, etc. Okay, so Esav say me too. Gam ani. It means I am too. This word ani, ego, to who this correspond? To Esav or to Yaakov? Usually we will say that basically the ego has to do with Esav, and Yaakov is completely opposite of ego personality. But if you remember when we learn about the lesson about Ani Vahu, me and him, you remember we have a lesson about these two holy names from the 72 name, me and him. It's a concept that appears in the New Testament. Jesus said two about himself, Yeshua. And it's appearing in the Bible about the minister of bakery and the minister of wine, what represents the body and the blood of Mashiach. Is writing Ani Vahu, again the same expression, me and him. So we explain that these two holy names is the first one. Vahu is the first one of the 72, what is the head of the first 36 names that correspond to Cain, to Esav. And Ani is the first of the second 36, what is the 37 name that correspond to the root of Hevel. That's why 37 equal Hevel. Alright? So Ani is correspond to Hevel, it means correspond to Yaakov. So it's like Esav. So now we have to understand how exactly this Ani correspond to Yaakov, and me, it's ego too. Me too, somebody that maybe even more ego of Ani. Alright? The ego of Esav is called two. Ani, it always have to do with concept of middle point. So we'll see now a very beautiful wisdom that has to do, we will see in the continue Bezrat Hashem with Godhead, how this becomes the middle point of this. It means this even super ego compared with, but this has to do with the ego of Yaakov. We are going to give explanation to this more later. Okay, so Esav, it's like Esav will say, I am my father too. It means I am Yaakov too. I am Yitzchak too. Okay? I am my father. I am my father too. It means I am Esav. In one way is Abraham, but he say, I am Yaakov, I am Yitzchak too. All right? Also, this is this equal side, anti. Yitzchak loved Esav because the hunting that he had is in mouth. Alright, so it is a lot of wisdom, a lot of wisdom. We can say we talk here about two kinds of wisdom that have to do with this verse, that have to do with the hunting. That Yitzchak loved Esav because the hunting, the side that he is with, his side has to do with Holy Spark, with his wisdom, that especially we can find it in these two words, Gamani equal side. Okay? 104, the half of Yitzchak. It is a verse in the Bible, Gamani Navi Kamocha, I am a prophet like you too, equal Avner. Now we will see in the continuation, we are going to analyze these two numbers, 43 and 61, and we will see how they are connected to Avner. Alright? Okay, thank you.